They just wanted one quiet weekend away from the world, deep in the forest. No phones, no people, no signal. But the forest was not empty. Brent, Mia, and Tyler had been best friends since college. They loved hiking, and this time they were going all out. 3 nights in Black Hollow Forest, an untouched, off-the-map spot known only by word of mouth. Locals called it sacred land. The trio called it cheap and quiet. By dusk, their tents were pitched under an ancient, gnarled tree that rose like a giant spine out of the ground. It was strange, bent as if it had grown while in pain. No leaves, just dark bark and carvings. They looked like words, but none of them recognized the language. The first night was fine, cold, quiet. Brent said he heard whispering in his sleep, but Tyler joked it was just Mia's snoring. Then came the second night. That's when the whispering got louder. Mia woke up around 2 a.m., drenched in sweat. She swore someone was standing just outside the tent. She didn't unzip it. She didn't breathe. The whispering, it wasn't in her head. It was coming from the tree. The next morning, Brent was gone. His boots were still by the fire, his sleeping bag untouched. But something had changed. The carvings on the tree had shifted. They were newer, fresher. Tyler said he could make out Brent's name in them now, written in that same bizarre script. And below it, another word, hungry. Mia and Tyler didn't wait. They ran. No path, just forest. Branches tore at their skin. The forest seemed to stretch on forever. But no matter how far they went, they always ended up back near the tree. It was as if the woods were folding around them, and each time they returned, there was a new carving. Each time, a new word. Soon, that night, Tyler disappeared. Mia didn't sleep. She watched the tree all night. It moved now, slowly, breathing. When morning came, there were 3 names carved into the bark, and the word FED period. Mia was found days later, wandering, mute. She never spoke again. The tree still stands in Black Hollow. Some say it's older than time. Some say it's waiting. If you ever find it, don't read the carvings. The Appalachian Mountains are old, older than trees, older than bones. They were ancient long before the first stories were whispered through these hollows. And some say there are things in these woods that remember. It started as a casual getaway. 4 friends from college, Danny, Chris, Jess, and Malik. They wanted a break from their buzzing phones, endless feeds, and city noise. Malik had found the spot online, a forgotten patch of forest near the Tennessee-North Carolina border. No cell signal, no marked trails, just a hand-drawn map posted on a Reddit thread, and a warning: don't hike past the ridge. Don't stay after dark. They thought it was a joke. The deeper they hiked, the quieter it got. Birds stopped chirping. Even the insects held their breath. That's when they saw it. A bundle of bones tied with string, hanging from a branch like a wind chime. Rabbit bones. Maybe something bigger. Bleached white. And below it, carved into the bark of a dead tree. Keep your eyes low. Jess laughed it off. Mountain people being weird, she said. But Danny, she couldn't shake the feeling they were being watched. They set up camp by a creek, just under the ridgeline. It was quiet, unnaturally so. That night, Chris stayed up watching the fire. Around midnight, he called out, said there was something on the ridge. A figure, just standing, perfectly still. They all looked. Flashlights scanned the trees. Nothing. No footprints. No sounds. They went to sleep uneasy, and sometime after 2 a.m., Danny woke up to a noise. Not animal, not wind. It was knocking. 4 slow knocks, wood on wood, coming from the trees behind her tent. Then a whistle, long, off-key. mimicking something she had heard earlier. Chris's whistle. Only he was asleep. Malik was gone in the morning. His tent was slashed, not unzipped. His gear was untouched, as if he'd simply vanished barefoot into the woods. They searched all day, shouting his name, combing the forest. Jess nearly stepped into a sinkhole camouflaged with leaves. Chris marked trees with his knife, but the cuts disappeared after a few hours. By dusk, they found Malik's flashlight. It was at the base of the ridge, flickering weakly, batteries still fresh, and next to it, scratched into the dirt, a single word: run. That night, Jess insisted they keep the fire going. She sat with her back to the trees, knife in her hand. Danny didn't sleep. She stared out the mesh window of her tent, afraid to blink. That's when she saw it. Not a creature, not a person, a shape, tall, slender, crooked. Its limbs hung too long, its head tilted, listening. It didn't move, but when the fire sputtered low, it took one step forward. Danny didn't scream, she didn't speak. She simply turned her eyes away, and when she looked again, it was gone. The weather turned fast. Rain came in cold and hard. They couldn't light a fire, couldn't agree on what to do. Jess said they should hike out in the dark. Chris was staring into the trees. He said something was calling him, said it sounded like Malik. He walked off before they could stop him. They followed the sound of his whistle for 20 minutes, until it changed. The tone got distorted, slurred, like something pretending to be him but forgetting how. Then, silence, only the rain, and something whispering under it. Danny doesn't remember how she got out. She was found 3 days later, stumbling down an old fire road, barefoot and shaking. Her clothes torn, hands covered in cuts. She doesn't talk now, not since the search and rescue team picked her up. Jess and Chris were never found. Only their tents remained. And deep in the woods, not far from the ridge, rangers found a tree covered in fresh carvings, names, symbols, and a single word scratched in deep at the bottom: watching. If you ever go camping in the Blue Ridge, and you see bones in the trees, and the forest goes quiet, don't speak, don't look up, and whatever you do, don't whistle back. Alaska doesn't care about your strength. It doesn't care about your training, your GPS, or how many mountains you've climbed. Out here in the endless white, there are things older than the cold, and sometimes the ground you walk on isn't ground at all. Ray, Olivia, and Cole had done this dozens of times: long-haul backpacking, off-grid survival, cold weather camping. But this was different. They'd flown into Fairbanks, then taken a snowcat deep into the Wrangell Mountains. From there, nothing but a paper map, satellite coordinates, and snowshoes. They were aiming for a location found on an old geological survey from 1968, Dyer's Pass, a place erased from modern maps, supposedly lost to glacier movement. No one had stepped there in over 50 years. Ray said it would be pure. Olivia said it would be quiet. Cole said, "We'll be the only people for 100 miles." He was wrong. They reached the plateau by dusk, a wide, sweeping basin ringed by ice cliffs. At the center was a rise in the snow, a perfectly rounded dome, unnaturally smooth, about 15 feet tall and 30 wide. It wasn't on the map. It looked like something buried, something exhaling slowly beneath the snow. Cole joked it was a crashed UFO. Olivia didn't laugh. She said it made her teeth ache. There were no animal tracks, no signs of life, just that shape, and the feeling that they had walked into a room where something had just gone silent. They set up camp beside it. Olivia didn't sleep. She lay there listening, past the wind, past the slow flapping of the tent, to something below. It wasn't a sound. It was a sensation, a pressure, a presence. And then, something new. Thump. software deep, measured, like the heartbeat of a creature the size of a building. Then, just beneath her ear, through her sleeping pad and the thin crust of snow, a voice. It didn't speak words. It remembered them. "You are above me." She froze. Not from fear, because the temperature inside her sleeping bag dropped. The air was colder inside the tent than outside it. And in the frost on the wall of her tent, 5 lines appeared, dragged by a finger from the inside. In the morning, a long fissure had opened near the rise. It hadn't been there before. They approached it cautiously. The crack stretched nearly 30 feet, black, soundless, and breathing cold. Ray dropped a stone into it. No echo, just nothing. Like the bottom had been taken. They argued whether to stay. Olivia begged to leave, but Ray had already set up the drone. He was too fascinated by the smoothness of the dome, the precision of it. He said it looked made. That night, Cole left the tent. He said he heard whispering, someone outside calling his name. He thought it was Ray, but Ray was asleep. When Olivia woke to unzip the tent flap, Cole was just walking, barefoot, in the snow. She shouted his name. He didn't turn. She followed the trail and watched as it led directly into the fissure. No resistance, no fall. He simply disappeared into the dark. Ray and Olivia stayed one more night. They had no choice. The blizzard came fast and thick, but the snow didn't fall on the dome. It parted around it, like it was breathing heat or hunger. That night, the tent collapsed inward. Something pressed on it. Not wind, something with weight. Ray screamed, and the pressure stopped. In the morning, he was gone. No footprints, no torn fabric, just a perfect handprint in the snow, twice the size of hers with a 6th finger. And at the base of the fissure, a word carved into the ice. Soon. They found Olivia 5 days later, 20 miles south, crawling across the frozen tundra with blackened fingers and torn lips. She wouldn't speak at first, just held her arms over her chest and whispered, "The hill was hollow. I heard it thinking, and it heard me." When search teams went back, they found no trace of the dome, just a frozen crater, perfectly round, and at the very center, a narrow vertical shaft carved deep into the ice, as if something enormous had risen. There are places in Alaska not found on any map. Not because we forgot them, but because something made us forget. If you ever find Dyer's Pass and feel the ground shift beneath your tent, don't wait, don't speak, and whatever you do, don't listen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our other videos for more content like this.